Big Al's gone. He said if they play the Smiths one more time on his show this morning, he's up, he's off, and he's out the back door, never to be seen again on TalkSport. That's how much he dislikes the Smiths.
Well, I don't blame him.
They're all right. I mean, they're not.
No, exactly.
Listen, they're not my bag man, but they're okay.
Exactly.
They're okay.
Yeah,
Agent Durham loves them.
Yeah, I don't have an extreme view on them really. But Big Al does it. I mean,
well, listen. At this moment in time, TalkSport breaking news. Joe, our producer, is out there trying to negotiate with Al to come back. I think 3 bacon butties and a half a bottle of champagne should do the job, Joe. Get him back in here.
Fingers crossed. Right, should we just get on with it?
Yeah,
let's get on with it. Jose Mourinho is making an awful lot of headlines today. In The Sun, Neil Ashton spread Deja Blue, 81 days into the job, and Jose...
He's back.
Jose's...
Hang the DJ. You know, what sort of lyrics is that?
You're right, Al.
Clarky, good morning.
Morning.
Where have you been?
Right, we'll get back. Rewind. Neil Ashton, Deja Blue, 81 days into United job, and Jose's reign is turning sour like Chelsea, writes Neil.
I don't believe this one bit. I'm sorry, Neil. No, I don't. And sorry, Clarky. No.
Well, it's across all the papers. Back page United turmoil after Watford shambles. It'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of team selection, I think, moving forwards. The story, I guess, to come out of this, and the Times touch on this, is Shaw furious at Mourinho. Now, this is, again, Jose digging out...
Sorry. When you say Deja Blue, I thought you were talking about Chelsea and the late meeting. I don't believe that. I believe Manchester United... one or two players will get the hump, one or two players are scratching their heads. I believe that, but not Chelsea.
No, we'll get to Chelsea. But Deja Blue is in reference to basically what happened at Chelsea could be, history could be repeating itself at Old Trafford. It hasn't taken long. He was as soon as he walked through the door, he was very polite. He was on best behaviour, wasn't he, Jose Mourinho? And I think the biggest tests always come when you have defeats and setbacks. And he didn't react brilliantly to those last season. Dug out a few players. And I think the big mistake he made last year was maybe coming for some of the senior guys. What's happening here at Manchester United is some of the younger players are coming in for the public flack. And that's the issue here. Is he right or is he wrong to pick on a player or name a player after a game? Where do you stand on that, guys? Because it's seen as an unwritten rule. You don't do that.
If you keep picking on one player, fine. But I think he's got every right to say, my fullback knows that he should be a lot tighter. He didn't, and it cost us dearly. There's nothing wrong with that. These are guys getting 150 grand a week or 120 grand a week.
There was more to the performance than that just mistake, though, wasn't it?
No, I know that. Yeah, but I think the manager got every right. Not to say it's not my fault, it's their fault. Yeah. But you've got every right to put. Look at West Ham now, and look at the dopey fullback.
Well, I'll ask you this. I'll throw this one at you. If it had been Paul Pogba that hadn't have gone with his man, and Watford would have scored from that, would he have come out in the post-match interview and said, "Look, Paul Pogba didn't do his job"? I think that's the question mark here. And if you're in Luke Shaw's position,
or if it was Wayne Rooney,
yeah,
would have. I don't know. No. Only Jose knows.
Only Jose knows. But it's caused this furore. Marouane Fellaini's been interviewed. He says, yes, it does constitute a crisis. The headline in the Mirror.
That's great. He's really, it's when he says that's probably the first time he's put his foot in.
Well, what would this? Rewind the clock to the Fergie years. We're in times of strife. They shut the doors, and Fergie would have said, "Look, do not speak," and everybody would have towed the line. Now, it does appear that players are giving the odd interview here. Fellaini has, and I'm seeing little quote marks. Senior players were, quote, surprised at the Shaw criticism. And it's just little comments coming from the main guys in the dressing room to journalists.
Gary Neville's tweeted this morning, just reading the sports headlines this morning. 10 days ago, going into the Manchester derby, United were back. Now there's an expletive in there. Football madness.
Yeah,
the two extremes.
Yeah. I said that earlier, didn't I? United started okay. The start of the season.
We're somewhere in between.
United are back. People were saying, "Oh, this is United. They're back." And you said,
I wasn't convinced.
Maybe not the fast-flowing football,
yeah.
But I remember saying after a few games, "Oh, this is going to be great." It's between the two Manchester clubs.
I think they're going down.
I mean, Clark, I think people are diving on things.
Of course, I think they are. I think we're somewhere in between. They're not as good as people were saying they were in the first few weeks of the season, and the crisis isn't as deep as being made out today.
This last week, them 3 defeats, they've looked very much like the LVG team.
They haven't looked great. They've looked a bit disjointed, and the balance of the side, the shape of the side isn't right. And this is something a lot of the guys are touching on. Henry Winter in the Times, really good piece. This one. Only way forward is to drop Rooney. ... Pep would. And that, I think, is maybe at the crux of it. The Mail go with it as well. You've got Jamie Redknapp, Keown, Chris Sutton. It says, if Pep were boss at United, Rooney would be axed now.
I don't want to ever go to Wayne here, and I'm not going to, but... you know, where do you play? Where is Wayne's best position? This is the problem that Josie has got and Manchester United have got. Is he a centre forward? Is he off the centre forward? Is he a midfield player? At the moment, everyone's scratching their heads. Now, is that causing problems in the United's rhythm?
Yeah, I think it is. Look, I'm a fan of Wayne Rooney as a footballer, but and I have stuck up for him recently, but based on recent performances and the shape of the side and the tactical problems they're having, I think they do need a midfield 3 that doesn't have a number 10. And if you're looking for the best midfield unit at the moment at Manchester United, I don't think Wayne Rooney gets into that.
I wouldn't have Fellaini in it.
No,
I think he's he has no influence on the game whatsoever.
I think they do miss Michael Carrick. I'm a little bit surprised.
I can't believe why he doesn't put him in.
I'm really, really surprised that he hasn't had a sniff yet. You've got Schneiderlin, who I didn't think was brilliant last year, but certainly not disastrous.
Some people are still saying Didier Mansers. Why not Schweinsteiger?
Oh, yeah, why not Schweinsteiger? Yeah. Look, I think there are several players ahead of Rooney as midfielders based on form and the balance of the team. And I think you've spent £89 million on Paul Pogba. You do need to build your team around that guy. And I know he's not in top form at the moment, but you know, he is someone you should be building the team around.
But where's his best position, Clark?
Well, I think it's his part of a midfield 3. Probably to the left of a midfield 3. That's where I see him, and I just think you've got to play him there.
Watch the Juventus videos and see how they accommodated him, and he gets forward and scores goals for Juventus.
He's inspirational, wasn't he, for Juventus? So. Yeah, Manchester United are in trouble at the moment and they desperately need results. And this story isn't going to go away, unfortunately, for them until they start winning again. So
Go on, let's move on from United.
When you say they're in trouble, they're 1 point behind Arsenal. You know, calm down, boys.
Yeah, well, I mean, talking of nonsensical sort of crisis points, Express, Roman's Rage, back page lead.
Yeah, I'm not having
Conte
this one.
under pressure.
Rubbish, absolute.
Well, I think it has to be
1
rubbish.
a.m. meeting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 1 a.m. meeting.
With the chief execs.
I think there was actually been
over probably a nice bottle of Amarone or
look,
something.
They're playing Arsenal at the weekend. They always raise their game against Arsenal, and I'm sure they will come out fighting. Look, I've seen a reaction from the Chelsea players to Conte. Okay, Liverpool outplayed them the other night. It was a brilliant performance from Liverpool. Chelsea, it wasn't great, but I think that they've shown plenty of positive signs in the early
and
weeks.
talking about positive signs, shouldn't we be talking about Man United Leicester? Great game coming up. Arsenal Chelsea. Great game coming up. I'm going to put the Smiths back on a moment for you, Clarky. You're depressing me. 7:15.
Barton on the brink. He's picked up a 3-week ban for this.
Is that another 3 weeks? Because they already had almost a week off.
Yeah, he had a week off. I think they've had talks, and I think most people expected them to clear the air, Mark Warburton and Joe Barton, and that he'd be welcomed back into training. I think yesterday.
But
that didn't happen.
But what we don't know yet is it for the training ground problem, or is it for something else?
If you're going to be. There was talk of him digging out 1 or 2 players and getting into a row with the boys, questioning their attitude. I think for that,
we've all been in dressing rooms. That happens.
That happens
quite
a lot, and
it
seems a very harsh punishment.
Not my fault.
It seems a harsh punishment for that. But there are 1 or 2 rumours that he was telling their manager what to do tactically, and I think for someone who's new to the club, actually, it doesn't matter whether you're new to the club or not. You can't, in front of everybody else, belittle the manager and make out that you know best.
Davey Ware got involved as well,
and if we don't know the truth behind that rumour, but I'm looking at the back page of the Mail. He did a round of interviews. Now he didn't tell the journalists that he did these interviews with last week about this. He did the interviews before it came out that this row had happened. So it's to promote his upcoming autobiography. The headline in the Mail: Joey Barton, why I'd be a better England manager than Allardyce or Hodgson.
To be fair, I think I would. Would you?
I am non-committal.
And he also said, The Guardian, someone with my character is a borderline kamikaze pilot. Now, I would say, if you have a character that's borderline kamikaze pilot, would that make you a good manager, Joey? I'm not so sure about that. So his future is in doubt, you'd have to say, at Ibrox, which is amazing considering that he left Burnley newly promoted.
Think
to go
about
there.
it. Alan said he's already had a week off. Another 3 weeks on top of that. That's a month without football.
By the way, they need
fitness coming back. And
they need them at the weekend. Aberdeen Rangers, Pittodrie.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll come back.
To see who's going to finish runners-up.
I'll tell you who is out. Harry Kane. He's out for a while. And it depends which paper you read, but most of them are quite similar in terms of their prognosis. The Sun, Kane KO'd for 10 weeks. The Mail are slightly more optimistic. They say 8.
How can they say... Where are they getting 10 weeks from in 8 weeks?
Well, I think, they obviously got insiders at the club. The Guardian say Spurs await Kane scan amid ligament damage fear. He's gone back for a second scan. It isn't a fractured ankle, so Spurs fans needn't worry on that score. He got ligament damage. It's the severity of that ligament damage. That's what Tottenham want to know at the moment. The rumours are that it's grade 2, which... is bad, but not the worst case scenario, which would mean 6 to 8, possibly 10 weeks out. It's a massive blow.
In the old days, 3.5.
It's a massive blow for Spurs.
Up, son. There's a jab out.
Get on with it. The thing for him as well, though, he was working incredibly hard to get back into some sort of form, and he got a goal, and it was just starting to turn the corner.
Well, that's his worry, Quinny, and it's Tottenham's worry, because what they're going to do without him.
Well, Spurs are into the unknown, aren't they? Because since Harry Kane emerged, he just hasn't picked up any injuries. He's been, like Robocop, hasn't he? He's just so strong, never misses a game. And what are they going to do? Thank goodness, from Spurs' point of view, that they did sign Vincent Janssen in the summer.
He hasn't looked the part, though, has he?
No, but I think give him a chance.
Closely when he's come on sub, and then he played Harry behind him, didn't he? One game, and I just thought he does. To me, it doesn't look like he's going to score a goal yet. No. Whether he's still settling in, and
I think let's give him a chance. He's going to get his opportunities, that's for sure. Now, and I remember watching. I remember watching on YouTube when he signed, the reel of all his goals last season, and there were a whole range of finishes there. He's clearly a natural finisher. It's mentally, is he ready for the Premier League?
So was the other fella. Who was the other Spanish guy who signed for Spurs?
Soldado.
I mean,
in training, he was banging them in from everywhere.
Yeah. And when he got on the pitch, he couldn't hit a man's over the peak.
The positive for Spurs is that Janssen isn't unbelievably different in style to Harry Kane.
Dutch strikers relatively have had a great time of it in the Premier League because of the Hurly-Burly, the Dutch League, the Premier League. There's been some fantastic Dutch strikers, Van Nistelrooy, Bergkamp, and they've all settled in. But is he one of them? Yeah, is he one of them?
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see.
Move on, Clarky, move on.
We'll turn it back to managers for a moment. Francesco Guidolin. He doesn't get a lot of column inches. He's a quiet guy, isn't he, at Swansea? But it does appear that he's fighting for his job at the moment. Our old mate Crossy.
Am I saying the players are turned against him or something like that?
Our old mate Crossy in the Mirror says Guidolin is all at sea with Swans. The Mail go Guidolin fighting for job. And it goes back to substitutions and a little bit of dissent. Now, I've got to say, from my experience...
That's when players come off.
Players come off and they openly criticise the manager, it's never a great sign. It tells me that the discipline within that camp isn't maybe what it should be.
And they've got a nice game coming up this weekend. They play City.
I've got a funny story. I was playing for Stockport County, and I didn't get the old number up, but I got sent off. And the manager, Eric Webster at the time, he's dead now, but he was having a right pop at me as I was coming off. So I took my shirt off and just launched it at him, just as a jet, stuff you type thing. But it hit him right in the face.
Did
and the whole shirt went over his head. In the end, I just got off the pitch and said after, I'm sorry, boss, I'm sorry.
And where did you go from Stockport 3 days later?
Oldham Athletic.
I've done it myself. I remember getting sacrificed when a goalie got sent off. I booted the dugout. Alvin of this parish, the substitute, I booted the dugout. You do it, but... I think if you're scared of your manager, if you are really worried about upsetting him, you would still maybe hold back. What happened is Neil Taylor, the camera panned in on him at the weekend, having basically saying, "What are you doing, Gaffer? Couldn't you wait until half time? That's out of order." Yeah. So that's where it's coming from. But results will. Well,
they got a good draw, good point against Chelsea, didn't they?
A good point against Chelsea.
Played well against Chelsea.
Yeah, that's the highlight of the season. It's been a bit of a flat opening, to the campaign for Swansea, but look, I think
5 games gone, guys. Just there's nothing yet. It's nothing. You're jumping to conclusions here.
Nicholas Bentner comes up against Arsenal tonight.
Put the Smiths back on.
Yeah, I know. Haunted by my boasts, he says in the Daily Mirror. The Lord is dead. He wrote that on Instagram. He's got this nickname.
The Lord.
Well, he's Lord Bentner, isn't he? That's his nickname.
From who?
Yeah, well,
who?
I think he was dating royalty, wasn't he, in Denmark? I think this is where it was coming from. I don't think that one lasted. And he said, "The Lord's dead. I'm a new character. I'm not going to be so big-headed in the future." And some of my boasts,
because his international goal record is good when he's played for Denmark. Is good.
Club records, pants, pink pants,
Paddy Power pants.
He's always thought he's the best thing, hasn't he, since sliced bread, and he hasn't delivered for goodness knows how long. I can't
believe he's back here. Well, when he went abroad and Arsenal got rid of him, I thought, well, that's it. You're never going to see him again.
I don't think there would be many managers in this country that would have taken the plunge on signing Nicholas Bentner. And I'm sure he's still earning a few quid at Nottingham Forest. He wouldn't have come back for peanuts. It'd be interesting to see what happens tonight. He does say in the Telegraph, makes me laugh. I'll celebrate if I score, but I promise I won't cause chaos. I mean, come on, that's a big if, isn't it? Scoring tonight. So we shall see. But yeah, some good games tonight. Leicester, Chelsea, Forest, Arsenal. So yeah, should be good.